everybody, and welcome to The Very Worst, a podcast that is only about all of the Pokemon movies. I'm Matt Allcamp.
I'm Pat Reber.
I'm Ashley Stoneman.
And today we're going to be talking about a movie called Kyurem and the Pokemon the movie, Kyurem and the Swords of Justice.
Yeah, which is a confusing title.
It's always Pokemon the movie, ... Somebody and some stuff, like Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, or Zoroark and the Master of Illusions.
I thought I was doing the last word on each one.
Oh, okay, we can try that.
I guess try that again.
Okay. Deoxys and the Power of
Christ.
Thank you.
All right, I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah, me neither. Guys, we watched a movie. Hey, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
It has been a while, guys.
Now, Matt and I are in some house in the middle of the woods that's infested with a bunch of animals.
Yeah, there's this, you guys might hear two dogs running around or barking, or a cat meowing, or the woods making woods noises.
Yeah, a bear might walk out and come in.
That's the thing about, you guys, the difference, when you're in the woods, okay, and you hear noises, like in the city, you hear a bunch of noises all the time, okay?
Yes.
And you're like, that could be a car. Oh, that could be a person. Oh, that could be, some homeless person, blah, 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 blah. And you just kind of shake it off and like, all right, now I'm just going to go back to sleep. In the woods, you know it's going to kill you because there's only 3 things that could be making that noise, right?
In the woods.
So it's like, it could be one of 3 things, and you know for a fact one of those things can kill you.
A bug.
A bug? You're going to hear a bug.
You could hear a bug.
Not
A
making
bug could
noises in
kill
the
you,
woods.
honestly.
Not loud enough.
Okay, a deer.
Fine, a deer. So a deer could be
deer?
one of those things.
Not
What's
scary.
the second thing it could possibly be?
Murder man.
A murder man, exactly. An axe murderer, or
A
bear.
car.
or what? A car carrying an axe murderer. Yeah, exactly.
Or a
so
bear
it's like,
on
or
a
a bear,
car.
right? So it's one of 3 things, and 2 of them can kill you.
And 2 of them,
Always.
they have multiple. A man could hit you with his car, or he could get out of the car and murder you. A bear could hit you with the car that it's riding
True.
on, like surfing.
Exactly.
Or it could the car could come to a sudden stop and the bear goes flying forward and lands on top of you.
Or the bear could have a gun on it, and the bear could shoot you. That it took off a hunter earlier.
The fuck?
Yeah.
You see, you guys are proving my point. It's just this woods are so much more scary than everyone likes to pretend like the city's all scary. The woods are 1,000 times scarier. The country is 1,000 times scarier.
If you're out in the woods and you hear noise, it could be your cell phone, and on the other end is your doctor telling you have cancer.
But also, like, if something happens to you in the woods, there's nobody around. You could just someone could bury you, and that's it. You're done. No
But-
witnesses.
Here's the thing. You're in the woods.
Uh-huh.
You hear a sound.
Right.
It's a murder man. He jumps out. He says, "You
Correct.
die now." He pulls his murder weapon. He points it at you.
Yeah. Yes.
He hears a sound.
Mhm.
And he goes, "Oh no. I know if it's a deer, I don't have to be scared. I'm already the murder man. There's a
Right.
50% chance this thing's a bear."
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he's doing all right then, because in our situation, there's a 67% chance that it's something that will kill us. Whereas in the murder man situation, since it can only be one of 2 things,
Yeah.
it's only a 50% chance of death.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
So the murder man and the bear are... The deer has it the worst off of anybody, because for the deer, there is 100% chance if he hears a noise, he's gonna die.
Deer can fuck you up.
Speaking of deer, we watched Kyurem and the Swords
Good
of Justice.
segue. Hey, Matt, that was a
Yeah.
good segue.
Which seems to be a movie about a My Little Pony who's in a
Correct.
D'Artagnan Three Musketeers relationship with 3 deer.
Correct.
Yes.
This one's pretty bad. This one,
This one. Hey, guys, didn't entirely hate this one, and I'll give
Yeah.
you I'll give you a few guesses as to why.
There's a My Little Pony in it.
There is My Little Pony in it. That is not one of the reasons.
Okay.
Ash rocks a lead pipe.
You know what? That might be one of the reasons, but I didn't realize that until now. But not the one I was thinking of.
They talk a lot about boxed lunches.
Yeah, again, very good. Not one of the
The
reasons why I did not entirely hate this movie.
the main Pokemon in the movie shoots water out of its butt.
No.
Oh,
Okay,
I know. There's a blimp in them. Wait, Ashley, there's a blimp in every movie.
No, okay, so there's a blimp in this movie. Lots of modes of transportation in this movie. One in particular.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get this. Is it because there's a lot of modes of transportation, and on them they made a Pokemon who talks to them telepathically. Ashley loves telepathy.
No, that's not. No. Okay, so modes of transportation.
Yeah,
Things
they're on foot.
that carry them, and they run into actually several versions of this one particular mode of transportation.
Are you talking about the Pokemon that can fly?
No,
Deer are a mode of transportation if you learn.
no,
how.
not really. Okay, so I'll let you guys. Do you guys give up? Do you guys want me to just to kind of come out with it, or are you guys done guessing?
Let's keep guessing for a while.
I give up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Matt gives up. Guys, so many trains.
Go! Time for a train fact.
Oh no, I forgot.
How just
No,
what?
I forgot.
You texted us like 20 minutes before we started recording talking about
I
trains.
forgot that I would have to do this,
Gave you a train fact setup that was 5 minutes longer than it should be.
I guess play the sound effect for now while Ashley pulls up a train fact.
I can play it while we're because my fucking computer is.
Could you play it several times so I have time to look something up?
I can play this. Bitch
I'm trying to think about something. I'm sorry.
We got a weird recording setup tonight.
Yeah, so if everything sounds weird, it's because we're in the woods and I brought the wrong recording stuff with me.
Yeah, that's right.
But no one and nothing will stop us from recording this podcast tonight.
Okay.
Wait.
Hey guys.
Hang on.
Just hold on a minute. Here it comes. Train facts. It's train facts with Ashley Stoneman. What do you got for us today, Ashley?
Hey guys. So did you guys know that the Great Depression of the 1930s almost managed to completely destroy the U.S. railway industry?
What? No way.
Why?
More people had to get around than ever because they were trying to escape their worries.
Why is a good question.
Okay, why? Why, Ashley?
That's it's just a compliment.
Okay.
Excellent question to ask.
Well, so there's a lot of trains in this movie.
They're good trains, guys.
Yeah, they are. I was impressed by the trains in this movie. They seemed nice.
This is another movie where I really was enjoying myself until we got to about the last half hour.
Yeah. And it's only a 60-minute movie.
Yeah, it was the shortest one so far, besides the TV movies, and it was half an hour too long.
It starts off strong though, right? We get a intro. Our faithful, he's not a narrator, right? As much as he is just like the hype guy for these movies.
Just a man who rants philosophically at us at the beginning of every Pokemon movie.
Right.
He's back on numbers.
Guys,
yeah.
Sorry. No, our narrator is back to counting Pokemon again.
Yeah,
And I missed that.
he took the last movie off. He's back, and he's toned it down a bit. This time it's just numbers hard to imagine. That's how many Pokemon there are.
This guy is going through such a journey in his head about like amounts and what they mean to him. My favorite line from his rant this time was, "Some Pokemon live with people, while some live alone in the wilderness." Otherwise, it was a pretty standard one.
Yeah, it was pretty standard. We get to see Ash. He has changed his clothes again.
Yeah.
And I think he grew up a little bit. He took a big leap backwards in aging last movie, and now I think he's grown up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
He seems a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
He's fighting a giant dragon with a Pikachu at the beginning of our movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just...
standard protocol.
Yeah, it doesn't come back up at any point. The narrator tells us that Ash is perfecting the art of the Pokemon battle, and that he's making an abundance of friends and dreaming an abundance of dreams.
Word abundance like 6 times.
Okay, we see Ash is still traveling with the big hair lady and the green haired nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that you hate.
Yeah, he sucks, and he really sucks in this movie. I made Pat write down what he thought he remembered their names to be.
Yeah, my best guess.
Your best
as
guess
to
is
what their names were.
And I wrote down mine. Ashley, you didn't have time to write down yours, but do you remember their names right now?
Nope.
Okay, so let's let Ashley go last because she's probably got. I'm guessing you're going to be the closest. Because you just heard their names. You just heard their names probably an hour ago while me and Pat heard them last 3 weeks ago. So Pat, what were your guesses?
So for the green-haired haunted doll-looking guy, I guessed either Oliver or Terrence.
Okay.
Neither of those. And then for the lady with the huge hair, I guessed Stacy or maybe Mindy or Kip.
Okay.
None of those were correct.
My guesses were, I thought the man with the green hair, who's the worst human, was Cyrus, which is pretty close.
Okay, yeah, you're getting there.
I thought the girl with the big hair who loves dragons' name was Delma.
Delma?
Delma, which is way off. There's not even a letter that matches in there. Okay, Ashley, what do you think their names are?
All right, so I think the guy's name is... What did you say, Cyrus? Is that what you thought his name was?
Yeah.
That was kind of close.
Isn't it? It's not, oh shit, what's that name? Silas, is it?
Oh, very close. His name, the man's name is Cylon.
Cylon.
Cylon?
Cylon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Simon, but with an M.
Yeah, but...
Or with an L instead of an M.
Yeah, but if you were like a pretentious shitbag...
Right.
How you would be named Simon.
Call him Sile for short.
Okay, what do you think the girl's name is?
I think the girl's name... Betty.
The girl is Iris.
Betty Boop.
The girl is Iris.
Iris and Cylon?
Iris, Cylon, and Ash Ketchum.
Is Iris a type of flower?
Yeah.
No, that's ibis.
No,
Idiots.
ibis is a type of bird.
What's the flower?
Iris is the thing in your eye.
Why would you name somebody after that?
No, that's eye mess.
Oh, eye mess?
Yeah, when you get like that gook in the side of your eye, it's called an eye mess.
No, those are called sleepers.
Oh, okay. We don't know what anything is, I guess. An iris is a flower.
Yes, iris.
Then what's the thing in your eye?
The gook. Eye gook.
None of this. I think it's called Silas. Cylon. Sorry.
Silas?
Anyway.
The gook in your eye?
The movie starts, and a My Little Pony is running through some grass.
Yes.
It's like a My Little Pony from behind, but he looks like a cartoon moose from the front. He's got those big old timey cartoon eyes, and he's got a horn sticking out of his head. That's usually a moose.
But yeah, he looks like he's like a multicolored pony deer.
Okay, so his name, I thought I was hearing his name throughout this entire movie was Sheldon, and I know that's wrong. What's his actual name?
You made that up.
I know I did. Because
Bazinga,
is it
right,
a
guys?
rule that every psychic Pokemon has to be annoying as fuck? Like, they all have to be really obnoxious.
This
Because this little shit, like, definitely name should have been Sheldon because it was extremely obnoxious.
This one is Ash Ketchum as fuck.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is Ash as a Pokemon, and it's incredibly annoying.
Right. Its name is Keldeo. Or if you're the autocorrect on my the notes app I was using, Kelder or Kelsey.
Okay. Kelsey would work.
Kelsey.
Obnoxious name. Or an
Keldeo.
obnoxious thing.
It's running through the grass and it gets attacked by a big green deer. And they start talking telepathically at each other, and it tells the big green deer, I'm friends with the grass, and it tells me things like where you were when we were fighting, or whatever he says. He's like, it's like, how did you know where I was? And she says, the grass told me. I'm friends with it.
I'm friends with the grass now, which doesn't come up again.
Everybody's like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's move on and never return to it.
And then he goes on to fight some big. It looks like if the Thing from Fantastic Four were a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it sounds, I guess, like the Thing from Fantastic Four if it were a Pokemon.
Like, hey,
sounds like a drunk uncle.
It's me, a Pokemon.
Hey, kid.
Let me tell you about producing a sword. He's fighting all these guys, and there's this like running thing about them telling him he doesn't know how to make a sword, which I took to be some sort of like erectile dysfunction metaphor.
Oh,
good.
And then he fights. He's in like a desolate forest during a rainstorm,
Mm-hmm.
and he fights Cobalion.
Oh yeah, he's like, let's fight, and Cobalion's like, no, we're in the middle of a storm. It's dangerous.
And he's like, I don't care. And then every tree around them gets struck by lightning.
The starts burning.
And one almost falls on Keldeo. And Cobalion says, you're reckless.
Reckless.
And this is where the Ash comes out. He goes, no, I'm not. I won't let anything beat me.
Okay. All right. I didn't know where the Ash Ketchum analogy was coming from, but it makes sense now.
So what's this guy's name? This weirdo's name?
Cobalion.
Cobalion.
So there's been Virizion, Terrakion, and Cobalion.
Right. So Cobalion finally agrees to fight Keldeo, and just does that thing that you see in like old martial arts movies where the master is proving the student that they're not ready yet. The student keeps attacking and the master just keeps stepping out of the way, like the student's unable to make contact at all, which is supposed to be cool, but because they're two awkwardly drawn deer, it just looks like two deer that are prancing around in a circle, and it's very unimpressive.
Yeah, the one thing that keeps happening at the end of all these battles is the deer all grow a big horn, and then smack the My Little Pony with it. And during this one, Keldeo's like, I want to be a sword of justice. Let me battle Kyurem. And as they're talking about this, I made an observation that will continue to be proven throughout the movie, is that every character in this movie pronounces this Pokemon's name differently. It's either Kyurem or Kyurem or Kyurem or Kyurem.
We're like 10 minutes into this movie now, and I still have not seen a Pokemon I recognize.
We haven't even seen.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Were these Pokemon already released before this film?
Yes.
But they're legends.
But they're legends. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
They tell him he can't be a sword of justice and can't fight Kyurem because he can't use his sword.
I keep hearing sort of justice. It's like it's sort of justice.
Sword of justice. We're the sword of justice. We're some sorts of justice.
They all have these weird voices too. Like in the past, every character in a Pokemon movie kind of fits like a pattern. There's you're one of like 5 types of voices who's like, you're a child and I'm a Pokemon, or you're like high pitched and
I'm the child.
I'm a legendary Pokemon.
Or you're like a god who's like, it's me, a Pokemon.
Yeah, but these 4, the Swords of Justice and Little Caldio, they all sound like just knockoff voices from a kids movie, like an animated kids movie.
Who? Athos, Porthos, and Dantos?
Yeah.
Who's the third musketeer?
I only know D'Artagnan's name.
That's definitely what this is, right? These are the 3 musketeers and Caldio's D'Artagnan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So they tell him he can't fight Kyurem, and he's like, I'll show you. Because he's an Ash. And in the middle of the night, he sneaks off to go find Kyurem. He's like going all Anakin Skywalker or whatever. They're like, he's too strong. And he's like, you need more training. He's like, I don't need the training.
This is actually the same origin story as Davos, the Steel Serpent from the Iron Fist comics.
So in the middle of the night, Keldeo sneaks out.
Sneaks to this old abandoned mine.
Yeah, it looks like this weird steampunk castle at first, but it's an abandoned mine shaft.
We don't get any cool steampunk castles this time.
Oh. We do get a castle of ice later, but that's boring.
Yeah, and it's
okay. It's okay, guys. We get a fuck ton of trains to make up for it. It's be great.
Ashley,
all right, hold on.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't want to. Guys, no, I don't want to do it this time.
you just gotta refrain from saying
Train facts, Ashley. It's time for a train fact.
Train facts with Ashley.
I don't want to do it this time. There are no more train facts. Did you guys know that?
Oh man, we did it.
We did it. Cool train fact, Ashley. Okay, so he stands in the middle of this weird mine, and he's like, and he gets surrounded by the snowflake Pokemon Cryogonal.
That's what those are?
Is that okay? So those are the floaty thingies.
Yeah, they like cry snow on people, it looks like.
I honestly thought
Weird.
they were just like a part of an attack from Kyurem.
Yeah, no, they're their own Pokemon, like a polygon and cryogonal.
Weird.
And Kyurem just has like an army of 50 of these cryogonals.
Yeah, seems to be. There's a dog jumping up on Pat right now.
Oh.
So he's like, Keldeo's like, fight me, Kyurem. I'm one of the Swords of Justice, which we know isn't true. We know he's lying. And Kyurem is like, hold on a second, let me turn on my fog machine. And then a fog machine turns on and fog starts filling the room. And then Kyurem steps out. and he's this like weird. He's this like big dragon. He looks like a T-Rex made out of ice and rock, with this giant neck and a face that has like a mustache made out of rock and two horns made out of rock.
And yellow eyes. Creepy ass yellow eyes.
And when he talks, he sounds like
Kyurem.
Like you know what it's like? It's like if it's a dungeon master pretending to be a goblin. He's like if you're like playing D&D and your dungeon master's like goblins attack, they're like
Yeah. My DM always did like a weird Brooklyn accent
for goblins,
which is what I love. Yeah,
hey,
I loved
it's
it.
me, a bunch of goblins.
It's me. What's going on? Forget about it.
I when I was a dungeon master, I used to do that anytime somebody could talk with animals, anytime somebody did a spell where they could talk with animals, every animal's like, hey, what is it you want? What can I do for you? I gotta go collect some nuts. I'm a squirrel.
I had that power that I could talk to animals, my character.
Yeah.
And we came across like a lot of instances where I was like, okay, I make friends with them. It's like you can't make friends with them. No, I'm gonna talk to the popular one and I'm gonna make friends with them and then they're gonna help me out. And it was always like they're not interested in talking to you. It's like, no, I want to. Okay, we'll leave you to the popular one, and we'll convince them. To the point where he had to stop me, like, you can't talk to him. I was like, fuck.
So
you can't make friends with him, Ashley.
You know what's fun about this guy's voice too is that this is his telepathic voice.
Oh, he's choosing to grunt in people's heads.
Yeah, like it's gravelly and sounds like an old man who's been smoking and drinking for decades. And that's what he's mentally projecting at other people.
Ooh. What would your guys' telepathic voices be if you could talk telepathically and choose your voice? What would your voice be?
Mine would be super creepy, I think. I think I'd make mine super creepy and like echoey and like soft.
Ooh, like creepy like a little ghost child, or creepy like an old witch
no,
lady?
creepy like a little ghost child.
Oh shit.
And just kind of like, I'm in your head kind of thing.
Even if you were just talking to your friends, like, let's go out for ice cream.
Yeah. Can you pass me my phone? That kind of thing.
How about you, Pat?
It would probably just be my voice, but like a maybe pitched a little lower.
Okay.
Hey, this is my psychic voice.
I 100% thought
Wait,
you
so
were
yours
gonna
would be all smooth and sexy? Like your psychic voice would be super smooth?
Yeah.
I
Nice.
100% thought you were going to say Lorenzo Music. That you would like your ideal voice to be Lorenzo Music.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
The guy who played Garfield in the cartoon Garfield.
Oh, his name was Lorenzo Music?
Wasn't his name Lorenzo Music?
That's an act. That's a name for a person?
Yeah. You guys don't know about this? I swear.
No. I thought it was Bill Murray.
No, it's Lorenzo Music. Okay.
It is Bill Murray.
There is a weird thing about Lorenzo Music, and I swear, Pat, you were the one that told me this. Lorenzo Music played Garfield in the cartoon Garfield, and in the Garfield movie, Bill Murray played
Garfield.
Played Garfield.
Yeah.
In the Ghostbusters.
Pause. No. Hold on a second. In Garfield and Friends, that's what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Garfield and Friends. The guy who voiced Garfield's name was Lorenzo Music.
Yes. And Lorenzo and Bill Murray in the movie Ghostbusters played what was the name of this character?
Peter Venkman.
And in the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon show,
Lorenzo Music
Lorenzo
did
Music
the voice
played-
of
yeah,
Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
Which fits that same pattern, right? Because the real Ghostbusters was a show about how the movie Ghostbusters was like this Hollywood version of what the real Ghostbusters, the star of the show, actually did.
Huh.
Which is essentially what the Garfield movie is. That is just a
That's-
Hollywood Garfield and Friends.
I'm just saying, Lorenzo Music fills in for,
That's
for
really
Bill
interesting,
Murray.
actually.
Or Bill Murray fills in for Lorenzo Music, and Lorenzo Music fills in for Bill Murray.
That's
Is-
cool, actually.
The weird thing about that, if Pat didn't tell me that, I wonder who did. It was probably a guy on a podcast, and this is the 3rd to 12th time that the person listening to this podcast has heard this on a podcast.
Well, I knew that that it was those two people trading off voices. I did not know that his name is Lorenzo Music. That's
Mine would be
It's just a fabulous name.
mine would be the fox from the Disney Robin Hood movies.
all right. Yeah.
That's who I would be.
Who played? Who? Okay. If I had to pick a character from that movie to be my psychic voice, be the rooster for sure. Great voice. He has a great voice.
So Kyurem kicks the fucking shit out of the My Little Pony.
He does. He puts on like a Bane suit. Right? He all of a sudden grows these plastic tubes out of his back and they connect to his biceps and start pumping what I can only assume is that venom liquid into his muscles.
And Kyurem's like, "Is that all you got, you sword of justice?" And the 3 actual sword of justice run in and they're like, "What the fuck? That dude's stolen valor, dude. That's not a sword of justice." And then Kyurem snaps the little dude's horn off.
Like in half. So he's got like a horn stub sticking out, but there's no point to it.
Once again, I think there's an erectile dysfunction metaphor happening here.
Is that what you think happens?
Yeah,
during
Kyurem
erectile dysfunction?
Kyurem-
Half of your penis falls off.
Kyurem embarrasses Keldeo and strips him of half of his masculinity. I think this is a heteronormative, penile-centric movie about men struggling with erectile dysfunction. Phallocentric is the word I meant to say when I said penile-centric, but it should be penile-centric, shouldn't it? Shouldn't that be the word?
Penocentric.
Enocentric.
Penis. You guys just have a, you know what? The Supreme Court just has a penocentric worldview. So,
So we're still just watching this story unfold. We're like a third of the way through the movie now, and we're still watching all of these Pokemon that we don't know and don't care about, and all look alike. Fight a dragon.
there was a moment where I was like, what if they never get back to Ash? And this whole movie is just these Pokemon. How cool would that have been?
That would have been nice. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm wasn't excited to get to Ash. I just didn't understand what we were watching.
Okay. Kyurem tries to kill fucking Keldeo, and then he turns all the swords of justice into a big block of ice, and then Keldeo falls off a cliff. And then finally
And then we see Caldeo next to death falling off a cliff, and we cut to a rockin' guitar riff.
that cool summer jam. Like hanging out in the sun with my Pokemon.
It's a nice song about hanging out with your friends and just living life to the fullest while Ash and Cylon and Iris ride a train with all their Pokemon out running into other people's cars. And
Pokemon are just running fucking buck wild on this train. They're like running into other people's cars and disturbing them, and like they can't stand up straight, so they keep falling into the floor and walls.
get a little Pikachu short.
Oh my god! Guys.
What?
Okay, first of all, so this song's like 5 minutes long and we listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Ash also can't stand up on a train and he falls on his fucking face. But also, train is passing by. Guess which characters are not in this movie, listeners? We'll give you 5 seconds. Team
It's
Rocket.
Brock and Misty.
Oh.
I mean, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
You know
I mean,
what? You're
Brock and Misty
right.
aren't, but-
Why didn't I know? No wonder this movie sucked.
No,
No,
Team Rocket, except for there is Team Rocket. As the train is passing by like the countryside, there's this moment where you fucking see a guy with short purple hair wearing a trench coat and like a detective hat or whatever, talking on a payphone looking at the train.
Watching the train go by for literally less than 1 second. They flash up a few frames of Jesse dressed like a secret agent, or I'm sorry, of James dressed like a secret agent, or dressed like Carmen Sandiego more, I guess, and talking into a cell phone.
What happened to those
on Ash.
voice actors? They just get fired?
Oh yeah, maybe they got fired. Maybe they like, we have to pay too much money to the Kyurem guy for going. We can't pay Jesse and James. And then as they get off the train, Jesse is standing there, also in a fucking Carmen Sandiego outfit, and also not talking. And that's all you see of Team Rocket for this whole movie.
Yeah, they're I guess just keeping tabs on them, just
Yes.
watching them so they can plan their next attack.
This is when Cylon declares, so they're getting off the train, Cylon declares, I'm a lunchbox connoisseur. I'm a box lunch connoisseur. And he says it like 4 times.
Yeah, he keeps saying it. He is such I don't he just creeps me out.
Yeah,
That's the thing is
creepy as
like
all fuck.
I'm sure he's a
guys,
nice enough dude.
Who's worse? Tracy or Lunchbox Connoisseur?
But this dude is also says he's a what did he say in that one movie? He's a Pokemon. Did he also say he's a Pokemon connoisseur? What was his thing?
He said he eats Pokemon.
He is.
He said he looked into the camera and he said, "We all eat Pokemon. It's the only source of meat on this world."
Dude is as horny for lunch as Brock was for women.
Yeah.
Okay. To answer your question, Ashley. Okay, all 3 of us, let's answer at the same time. Who is worse, Tracy or Cylon? 3, 2, 1. Cylon.
Tracy, that
Tracy.
guy's is fucking awful.
Okay.
I know Cylon's annoying and creepy and probably a serial killer and just fucking obnoxious. But Tracy is a rat fuck. That guy is such a piece of shit. And racist. He was brought in for incredibly racist reasons.
Oh, it's true. I forgot about that part.
So, they get on this. They stop to get some lunches and drop them all over the place. It's boring, and
They just have like they go to a box lunch stand and they just start tossing them around and throwing them at their Pokemon, and the Pokemon are batting them back like it's a volleyball. And the store owner is fine with this. The store owner is having a great time.
This happens all the time.
We do get Scraggy here. This is the only part of the movie that we see Scraggy, who is my new Psyduck, I think. Scraggy's great. Just the concept of a Pokemon that constantly has to hold up its own pants. It can't do anything. It's anytime it tries to solve a problem, it can't use its hands to do it because its hands have to hold up its pants.
Why is it? We saw it. We see his pants fall sometimes, and there's no consequence. It's like, is he trying not to show his Pokemon dick? Like we've seen his pants fall, and there's no dick there.
Scraggy's great.
Unless his dick is like halfway down his calf. I don't think he needs to hold those up unless
maybe he's packing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, guys.
Sorry, me and Pat have a penocentric view of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good penis-centric episode. Let's
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Matt, why do you suppose we have such a penile-centric view of the world and Ashley doesn't?
Who would know? Who knows the reason to this?
Do you guys know why it's coming out this episode where every time somebody channels their power, a giant horn erects from the top of their head and it denotes how strong and powerful they are? It's a mystery. We'll never solve it. So they get back on the train. They accidentally leave Scraggy behind.
Yeah, they just leave him.
And Ash is a total dick. He could just take out his Pokeball, recall Scraggy, and everything would be fine. But instead he runs out and he's like, hey, run for the train. Why don't you run?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Ash loves doing this. He loves running after a departing vessel and jumping on, so he figures Scraggy's after the same thing. Scraggy's after the same thing.
Yeah, so he makes fucking Scraggy hold up his pants and run for the train. They get him on board, and then Pikachu finds Keldeo on top of the train all ass kicked.
Yeah, fucking, this is a legendary Pokemon. And it just lands on the roof of their moving train. How much more chosen one can you get than a thing that there's only one of in the world?
Landing on your train roof.
As it travels at 60 miles per hour.
And, we breezed by something that I thought Ashley would have something to say about.
Yes.
They're on a train.
They're on a train. But I've mentioned this train a lot. Great.
You had to say the word. All right, hold on.
I don't understand the rules to this. I mentioned trains before in the past, and I never had to come up with a train fact.
Ashley, you're doing a lot of chatting when you could be looking up a train fact.
It's train facts with Ashley Stoneman.
I quit.
We're not going to podcast anymore, Ashley, till you give us a train fact.
Okay, good night.
We'll sit here in silence.
I read a really long train fact. Can I be forgiven and I won't have to give train facts anytime I mention a train again?
This has been Train Facts with Ashley Stoneman.
You give a real good train fact. You don't have to do it for the rest of the episode because I know you're going to say train like 19 more times. All right, train fact us.
Okay, cool. George Pullman, no, this is too long. All right, fine. I'll just read the headline.
Better not be too long.
Abraham Lincoln's assassination helped publicize train travel.
Okay, that is the
fact.
Perfect train fact.
Here's what I thought you were going to comment on. Is there's a Pokemon that they see when they're getting the boxed lunches that is just an ice cream cone that floats.
Oh yeah, that thing is awful.
And I was like, I'm sure Ashley's gonna have something to say about this, but no, apparently not.
No, I didn't. I didn't pay much attention to this one.
Like a diamond-studded ice cream cone.
Yeah, it's great.
I watched this movie on a subway, so my input might be a little scotty.
That's insane. You're that person on the subway.
you know, everybody talks about those like different archetypes of people on a New York subway. There's the guy who dances, there's the homeless person who smells bad, and then there's the woman watching a Pokemon movie on her cell phone
without headphones.
Like, what would you be more embarrassed being caught by watching straight up Pornhub on your phone, or like being caught watching the Pokemon movies and taking notes?
So, Keldeo starts talking to everyone telepathically, and they're freaked out. Go fucking figure. And Ash isn't like, don't worry, guys, this happens like to me every week.
I don't miss Brock. Right. What I do miss is having somebody every time a legendary Pokemon starts communicating telepathically going, it's telepathy.
Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised every single time?
Again, Ash doesn't just
when
say...
they said he talks, I was laughing so hard because it's just I don't understand the rules anymore.
They adjust real fast too.
Yeah,
like if you saw a talking dog, it would be at least 2 hours before you got used to the fact that you were hanging out with the talking dog.
Well, they don't really have time because Iris pronounces it Kyurem, shows up and starts covering the train in ice. Ash yells at it, and it gets knocked off the train by that old... the train goes into a tunnel.
Yeah, he's on top of the train trying to kill Keldeo, and the train goes into a tunnel, and he has to fly off.
And Iris flashes back to her days in, I guess, some sort of Inuit village or something?
Yeah, she's hanging out with like an elder who knows all about legendary Pokemon and is describing each one to her in great detail.
And remember, Iris is all about dragon Pokemon, so it's like she's like, what's the strongest dragon Pokemon? And the elder's like, it's Kyurem. And then it cuts back.
Turns out last movie we saw Reshiram and Zekrom. It turns out there was a third one that they, I guess, just forgot to tell us about in the last movie. But this one is stronger than both of them and has the powers of both of them.
He could be Black Kyurem, which has the powers of Zekrom, or it could be White Kyurem, which has the powers of Reshiram. Cool.
Wild. It's very cool. These can't believe they forgot to mention that in the last movie.
They had to write this whole movie just to tell us.
Oh my god, we completely forgot Kyurem.
So they take Keldeo to Nurse Joy, and she tells them, oh, you met Kyurem? It's weird because he lives in an old ruin nearby and he never ever leaves it. It's weird that you saw him. We've never heard this before, Nurse Joy.
Nurse Joy is taking a look at Keldeo and is like, it looks like the horn was broken off recently here for Keldeo. And then somebody else goes, Keldeo. Somebody else goes, that's Keldeo. And then somebody else goes, Keldeo's his name. Every single human being in the room
says Keldeo. And Nurse Joy says, you didn't know that? Which must have been really embarrassing for Cylon.
Great burn, Nurse Joy.
So she tells them about the 3 Swords of Justice. We already know all about it, but that's Virizion and Terrakion and blah, blah, blah.
What do they do? What's the point of the Sword of Justice?
They're just... I have a theory that they're a street gang. But we'll get to that later when we find out more about their hazing rituals. So Keldeo wakes up and tells Ash everything that happens, and we flash back to it even though it happened like 5 minutes ago in the movie. We have to see it again.
Ash introduces Pikachu as my buddy Pikachu
instead of my partner.
Yeah, which is a wild digression from the last couple of movies. I wonder what happened.
And Keldeo's like, I almost got killed when I fought Kyurem. And Ash is like, well, you have to do it again. You have to go fight him right now. I'll come with you. And then Cylon is like, before we go save your friends and do the thing that this movie's about, We have to eat a boxed lunch. So they stop and do that for a while.
So we're adding boxed lunch to the food live show
Oh yeah, got
for
it.
all the recipes. What
Gotta
I
bring
love
that
is
boxed
that
lunch.
okay, we lost Brock. We may have lost a lot of misogyny and sexual harassment, and just standard creepiness, but we also lost the great recipes
Yeah.
that he brought with him.
Now instead of weird food, we just get like artisanal food or some shit.
Yeah.
No, not even that though, because like Cylon is always like, here's a prepackaged thing that I brought with me that I didn't actually I'm not cooking in front of you. I don't have any idea. He claims to be a foodie, but then he just brings a boxed lunch with him.
Yeah, like last movie he had macarons, and this movie he's like downgraded to like Lunchables.
And he won't stop reviewing them either. He won't stop reviewing the boxed lunch. It's a good review. It's just he is going on and on.
My guess is that boxed lunch here is a stand-in for the word bento.
Yeah.
Right, which
That makes sense.
Except-
which is a
bento
lot
box.
more elegant of a concept than boxed lunch.
Except when they open them, inside it's like 3 tacos.
Tacos, and Ash hates them. So Kyurem shows up.
I do really love that so Chaldea's going through this intense coming of age ritual where you have to fight a dragon to like achieve your full potential, to realize your purpose in life as a legendary Pokemon. And Ash is just oh, this kicks ass. I'll come with you. He just stumbles
Chaldea's
into
not
another
like,
sacred ceremony.
You weren't invited.
Yeah.
Kyurem shows up, attacks everybody. They go hide in a mall. The snowflakes chase them around. Like, basically, this whole movie is this one fight. Keldeo started a fight with Kyurem, and the rest of the movie is the fight, just happening in different places and running away.
They keep taking breaks.
Yeah. They get surrounded. The snowflakes surround Ash and Keldeo, and then Keldeo uses his water feet to get them away.
Yeah, have we discussed this insane attack move of Chaldea's?
So Chaldea's got a horn, which isn't very effective. He shoots a green ball out of his mouth.
A green ball of light.
Which is very powerful.
He just flings his head from side to side and a green ball flies out the side.
He can make multiple mirror images of himself.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
And the only other thing he can do is shoot water out of his butt and all of his feet.
It's a small stream of water the size of his hoof, like the width of his hoof, that he shoots out of his back feet. So he whips his butt around, sticks his butt in your face, and then
like peas
kicks his back feet out, and out of the bottom of his back feet shoot 2 tiny streams of water.
Now, this is something nobody ever talks about water Pokemon, is the water is stored inside their body.
Oh, yeah.
That's either urine or saliva then, right?
And a lot of it.
Like so much.
This is it to fly, too. Could you imagine?
Imagine when you're like, don't worry. Do you say to your friend, you get mugged. And you're like, you grab your friend and you're like, don't worry, I'll get us out of here. And you pee so hard on the ground, you shoot up to the top of a building.
Yes, I can absolutely imagine that.
I guess thinking of that, most of these Pokemon the water Pokemon don't leave the water that often. So
this is them
I
just
would
like...
imagine it'd be stored. But I guess they would have to like have another stomach where they just store water.
Yeah, it's like an extra gland, right?
And if you were a biological creature that occasionally expelled large amounts of water, your wastewater would go into that, right? So even if it's not all urine?
I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't go into breast milk.
Okay.
right? Maybe it's more like that. Like the body is just producing it.
So Caldeo is shooting breast milk out of his. And like when Squirtle shoots a water gun at you, he's shooting breast milk out of his mouth.
I'm just saying maybe there's like an extra gland that we're not thinking of that just produces water very quickly.
A baby Squirtle suckles on a mother Squirtle's mouth. Is what you're saying, Pat?
Well, no, I don't think a Squirtle is a mammal. So
Wait, Squirtle is Squirtle a mammal? What is Squirtle?
Are all Pokemon mammals?
no.
Are all okay? Here's the thing. Can you have multiple? Like, okay. Does Pokemon just mean living thing? So there are bacteria Pokemon, and there are animal Pokemon, and there are inanimate object Pokemon. Or does Pokemon mean animals? So there are reptile Pokemon and mammal Pokemon.
I think Pokemon is short for pocket monster.
Oh, okay, good.
To answer your question.
So anyway, they get away. Then they go into an abandoned subway, and this is crazy because
They do. Sorry, before we get too far, they manage to fool these Cryagonals and like divert them and disappear somewhere else. And the Cryagonals are like, Cryagonal? Because they're legitimately surprised. It's just you don't see these like robotic Pokemon emote very much. It was a good moment.
They escape into this abandoned subway, and they're like, oh, a big locked door. How are we ever gonna get into here? And they smash into it somehow. Whatever. Not important. What is important is then they're walking down the subway and they come to another door and they are fucking flummoxed.
Another door.
I love that.
We had to break in. They had to break.
I wanted the rest of the movie just to be them discovering new doors
and being completely baffled, like, another door?
Totally surprised.
Who put a door here in this place that we had to walk through a door to get into?
So somehow they make it through the second door. It's actually unlocked. They just push their way through it.
Yeah.
And now they're in a hangar, like an airplane hangar,
but full of trains and stuff.
Well, yeah, full of trains and one blimp.
Wait, hold on. Why can you say trains? And you don't have to do a fact.
Ashley, oh my god.
Damn it. All right.
Wait, hold on. I don't want to do this again. Do I have to do this again? No.
It's Train Facts with Ashley Stillman.
God damn it, guys, I'm running out of facts. Abraham Lincoln was my best one. I like how you guys are frustrated, like as if you didn't decide that this was a rule. This could very well not happen, but no.
Is this your train fact?
Isn't a very good one.
Okay. I'm trying. My computer's running slow for some reason.
Why does nobody tweet train facts at us?
I'll start doing it. Diesel locomotives entered service after World War I. Together with electronic locomotives, they gradually brought the age of steam trains to an end. In a diesel locomotive, the power comes from an engine that burns diesel oil. I'm tired.
So it's a train museum. They find a train museum and then they steal a fucking blimp from it.
They steal a blimp. Iris looks at the blimp and goes, I've got a great idea. She refers to a blimp as a great idea, which if you've seen any Pokemon movie up to this point, you know is not a great idea.
Is the worst idea. What is with these movies and blimps? They don't understand boats, but they
great.
Love blimps.
So the roof to the hangar pops open, the blimp comes flying out, and of course all the Cryagonals see the blimp coming out and start chasing it.
But it was a fucking bait and switch.
Ooh.
We get a flashback. That's how they decided to tell this part of the story for some fucking reason.
I have never seen a lazier master plan reveal than than this. This is no Ocean's 11, I'll tell you that much.
Like, they flash back and it's her saying, I'll take the blimp and you guys stay here.
Yeah, this is 30 seconds after she told us she was going to get on a blimp. You see the blimp disappear. The Cryagonals surround it and see that it's just her in there. And she's like, oh, I tricked you. And then they flash back 30 seconds in the plot.
But Kyurem gets mad and freezes the blimp anyway, just out of pure spite.
Which does nothing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a little
There's a
ahead,
moment where it's
but
like, oh, Iris is plummeting to her death, but no, she shows up later perfectly fine. Like,
the blimp just keeps running its cold now.
Meanwhile, Cylon steals a train car and pulls the exact same stunt.
This is actually this is a pretty good bit, I think. To have the audacity to do that twice in a 5-minute span in your movie, just the exact same terrible reveal. And I'll tell you, if the first one was no Ocean's 11, this one was no Ocean's 12.
Right, because this time we actually see Cylon take off with Ash and Keldeo and Pikachu leaving Ash, Keldeo, and Pikachu behind. But they still flash back to tell us
we
that's
still
what they're
have
doing.
to get the flashback.
Anyway, Keldeo starts thinking about Cylon and Iris, and it's making him flash back to the Swords of Justice, and he thinks about he's flashing back to this oath that they do.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys want to do the oath? Ashley, do you know the oath?
No.
Greater than 1 is 2. Greater than 2, 3. When the strength of friends is combined into one, the true power and courage are created.
That's it. That's their
Good.
That's their motto. That's their knockoff Captain Planet motto.
And he tells Ash all about his friends. He's like, Terrakion is tough. And then we see a story of him being like splatted in the face by a fish. And he's like, Verizion is calm and really cool. And we see a story of Verizion falling off a cliff. And then he's like, Cobalion is an inspiration. And then tells a story about getting beat up by Cobalion. And Ash is like, oh, cool. And Keldeo's like, Ash, can I ask you a question? Why are you doing this for me? You just met me. And Ash is immediately like, we're friends.
Caldeo's like, friends?
So he's like, dude, too soon. Too soon. He just said, you just met. Like, he's creeped out by you. Don't assume you guys are friends.
So they make their way back to the old abandoned mine.
And Keldeo has a panic attack.
Yeah, Caldeo's freaking out. Ash has acquired a lead pipe. I don't know where he got it, but I fucking love it.
Well, because Ash is like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And he runs in and he takes out his Pokemon Pignite.
Oh my god. That
Which
thing
is
is named
Pignite?
Pignite.
Which is a fire pig.
Fire, yeah.
Pignite?
But not
Pignite.
not to be confused with the
Pignite.
other fire pigs.
Tepig.
No.
Yeah.
Or fire monkey.
And
Flea monkey.
Fire monkey.
Tepig and
Or fire boar.
oh my god, what is his name? Boar.
Burnhog.
I want to say Incineroar,
Burnhog.
but I'm thinking of the
Incineroar. That's good.
But I'm thinking of Incineroar, the tiger fire Pokemon.
Oh my god. There's actual. Like, I hate these names so much. Oh, these are awful. I
So-
hate this.
Ash starts barking out orders to his Pokemon to start attacking this block of ice that the Sword of
Pignite.
Justice is stuck in.
Pignite, Flamethrower, Boldor, which is a rock Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
Rock Throw, Pikachu, Iron Tail.
And for a second, I was disappointed. I was like, oh man, Ash has grown up and he, instead of throwing himself in harm's way, has started, like, he's barking orders. He's being authoritative about it. Looks like he has a plan.
Yeah.
But
he's an effective supervisor.
But he pulls out a lead pipe, presumably, I guess, just from his pants leg. Has he just been carrying this thing around?
I don't know.
And he runs at this block of ice and starts swinging this pipe as hard as he can at it.
Trying to free the swords of justice from the block of ice, and he just starts pounding on it with a lead pipe he found.
And then he doesn't let it go for the rest of the movie. He's holding a lead pipe in one
as he's
hand.
like talking to people, he's just holding a lead pipe.
Jeez, dude, okay.
And Kyurem is like, a human can't be in here. And Ash is like, you can't make me.
Kyurem gives him the chance to leave. Kyurem's like, look, I don't have any problem with you, dude. This is no place for a 12-year-old boy.
And
Please leave this abandoned mine.
Ash is like, I don't care. I want to be here.
Yeah.
Eat shit. He says, Ash says eat shit in this movie.
Yeah.
That's
A lot.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's the first profane Pokemon movie we've ever seen.
He says, eat shit, and he unzips his pants and wags his, well, they don't show it because he's a kid, but he wags his dick at Kyurem.
We're doing it again.
Yeah, really, this is a really penile episode.
Anyway, they seem to be having no effect on the ice. All these guys wailing on the ice and nothing happens. But then Keldeo runs in and he's like, hey, Kyurem, you motherfucker. I have to tell you the truth. He says motherfucker again.
Yeah, I'm going to take you the fuck down, you little piece of shit.
You shit sucking fuck ass, he says. And you're like...
Did you guys know that this Pokemon movie has more? It says the F word more than Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, this Pokemon says the F word more than every Quentin Tarantino film combined.
Yeah. Just quick trivia fact for you guys.
Trivia facts with Ashley Stoneman.
Do not curse me with this.
So, he's like, I'm not actually a sword of justice. I lied to you. And Kyurem's like, I know, I'm just an asshole.
And then he's like, I'm still going to fight you.
I'm gonna kill you anyway.
I'm still gonna fight you.
So this is where it occurs to me how strange this ritual is, right? So the Swords of Justice have a ritual, right, where as soon as you join the Swords of Justice, you prove yourself by going to an old abandoned mine, finding the tough old man who lives in there, and trying to beat him up. This is like a weird gang initiation, like hazing ritual. Yeah. Like, if you want to be in our gang, kid, you have to try and see if you can beat up this old man, and then we'll let you in our club.
This is just like Gran Torino.
Ashley, have you seen Gran Torino?
I have not.
Neither of you have seen Gran Torino?
No.
It's not like you're not missing anything. It's just Clint Eastwood as an old man yelling at people to get off his lawn, and then he does get a little racist with it. So it's
did he do that at the Republican National Convention too?
Yeah, it's like that, but with
does he yell at a chair in this one?
No, he yells at people of color instead.
Which is just he either yells at people of color or he yells at chairs that he's pretending are people of color. That's Clint Eastwood's whole career now.
Oh.
Remember when he was The Man with No Name? Those were good fucking movies.
Fucking hang 'em high.
Anyway, Keldeo learns that the power of friendship is really all he needs to win the fight. And then the rest of the movie...
after just about 15 minutes prior learning what the word friend meant... He's in this fight and goes, the power of friends was my sword of justice all along. And he lights up and grows like a butt plug looking horn.
Yeah, he grows the biggest, best horn of all. Well, so the rest of the fucking movie is Oh, and he also transforms into a sexier My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's called his resolute form, Matt.
Sorry. As he's saying all this, he's like, friendship is the power all along, and now I can grow my horn. It cuts back to Kyurem to give a reaction shot, and he's like,
He's been through this with the 3 other swords of justice. He's just like, Jesus Christ.
So the rest of the movie is Keldeo, Ash yelling Keldeo.
Caldeo!
It's Keldeo fighting and starting to win, and then Kyurem powering up, and then Kyurem starting to win, and then Keldeo going, the battle is far from over, and then he starts to win, and then
I'll never give up.
and then the swords of justice get free, and then they're like, you can do it, Keldeo, and then Keldeo starts to win, and then Kyurem is like, you'll never stop me, and then Kyurem starts to win.
The swords of justice refuse to participate. They are just cheering him on.
My god.
This is his fight.
Eventually they get broken out, and they say, Ash, you have our gratitude. And Ash says, how did you know my name? And they go, oh, we heard you through the ice. The best line in any Pokemon movie. So after a bunch of like back and forth shit, Keldeo gets his ass totally kicked, and then Kyurem tries to like kill Ash. And Keldeo jumps in his way and stops Ash from getting blown up by a like ball of shit.
Yeah, he cuts a ball of energy in half.
With
and
big ol' erect penis.
Who's the one legendary sword of justice there that
Cobalion, the leader?
No.
Virizion, the lady?
Virizion goes, he's using his secret sword. Which is I didn't know they had secret swords.
And so he gets all fucked up, stopping this ball of energy, and Kyurem's like, you learned the power of friendship. You saved your friends rather than win my battle. You're all right. Your sword is good. And he walks away.
You're all right, kid.
So it's the end of the movie, right? He walks away, except for it's a Pokemon movie, so it has to end at least twice. So the castle that they're in starts falling apart.
Yeah, for no reason. It's
right. At this point, we're like, I guess Kyurem's not such a bad guy after all. And he's walking away. But then the thing starts collapsing, and then everybody jumps on a deer's back, and they run away. And Kyurem saves the day again, and then walks away into the mist, and you're like, I guess Kyurem's not such a bad guy after it's like the same ending twice.
Yeah, also they're standing in this abandoned mine, and I understand that that's not particularly safe to begin with, but there's no reason for this to start collapsing. But even with it collapsing, they managed to escape. And then Kyurem comes in behind them and says, oh, I can stop this from collapsing, and freezes everything, even though it's already collapsed.
Fucking 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe this just didn't have to happen. Maybe you could have rolled credits.
So then all the Swords of Justice, they let Keldeo into the Swords of Justice. Yay!
Woo! So they changed their slogan.
Greater than 1 is 2.
Greater than 2 is 3.
Ashley, what's the next line?
Isn't it? It's not greater than 3 is 4, right?
Yes,
Yep.
it is. And then when the strength of friends is combined into one, then true
power and courage are created.
Amazing.
So it's the same slogan. It's just now they add greater than 3 is 4.
They math whiz. Math whizzes. It's really a math club. This is really the math club of the Pokemon High School.
Counting club.
So, And then they all stand there touching horns, touching swords for like a really, really long time.
With Ash just staring, just watching him, smiling.
When with camera angles and music in a movie is not awkward. But if you imagine what it would be like to be standing 10 feet away from that watching it, that would be the most awkward shit in the world.
Weird. And that's it, right?
That's
who they roll credits then.
There's not even like credit sequences. The credits are just names on black
screen.
background. That's the movie.
Guys,
Yeah.
I gotta say, really didn't like this one.
This is radically different from your perspective at the top of this episode.
Yeah, I've done a 180. I did some introspection while you guys have been talking, and I've realized there's a lot of there's a lot that went missing from this episode. I realize I don't have to yell anymore because my microphone's facing my face now.
Oh yeah, we
never
didn't
talked
address
about that on the
right?
podcast. Ashley, do you want to tell the listeners what happened?
Oh god.
Make them promise not to laugh.
Guys.
Audience, you have to promise not to laugh when
audience.
Ashley tells this story.
Tweet at us that you didn't laugh.
You gotta promise not to laugh.
Tweet at
You
us
guys gotta
at
promise.
the very worst.
At the very worst pod.
The very worst pod on Twitter. Tweet at us that you didn't laugh at this part.
Okay. So I've been speaking a little more softly in this episode. Partly because I don't have the need to yell anymore or speak louder. So for the past, how long have you doing this podcast, Matt?
Like
Right.
6 months.
So for 6 months, I tonight have discovered that for the past 6 months, I have had my microphone facing the wrong way. And I have made the adjustment, and things are better now. So,
Ashley has been here. Let me see if this comes across over the recording. Ashley has been back of the microphone.
Ashley has been doing this for basically the past 6 months as we've been doing this podcast.
and I would always receive word, and that would text me like, "Did you record this episode from your computer mic?
Onboard mic.
Because you sound so far away." I'm like, "Nope, I've been talking directly into my mic the whole time."
And she
Really?
and she has a
You sound just like you're so far away from your microphone.
she has a Yeti, so it's like I kept being like, "Well, we need to get you a better microphone," and she's like, "Well, I have a Yeti," and it's like, "That's not a bad microphone."
It costs a lot of money.
I thought of like going to New York to check her settings.
We've solved
Driving to New
Ashley's
York
audio
City just
issues.
to check out my microphone.
Yeah.
Anyway, the movie's over. Listen, this one was basically one very long fight scene, and that was it.
Yeah. Gets a lot of points for being just over an hour.
And being very different. The plot structure is different.
Okay, but yeah, that's the thing. But we lost some elements that made some of the other movies like more emotional. Ash didn't die in this one.
Ash
Didn't come close to death.
No Team Rocket.
Team Rocket completely gone. A Pokemon didn't die, and Ash didn't cry over it. Ash didn't punch anything, even though he did take out the lead pipe.
He hit a block of ice with a lead pipe. I think that fucking counts.
Yeah, I'm counting that.
Okay.
There's no stakes in this one. Like,
Listen,
here's the thing: is if Ash doesn't get involved here, who cares? This is a Pokemon that no one's ever heard of.
Listen, when we were talking in several other movies about stakes, it was that the movie was based around, oh, we have to stop this or something bad will happen. But the bad thing was never bad enough, right? We did also stipulate that we would settle for a plot that wasn't about they have to stop this. Like we talked about specifically, like, oh, if they just their whole plot was they have to go, they're going on a road trip and they have to get there in time for something or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that this movie fulfills that. All it is, the plot of this movie is not the world's gonna end. The plot of this movie is a dude wants to join a club and can't do it until Ash inspires him to be better.
You don't have to rub it in, Matt. I was wrong. We need stakes in these movies. Otherwise, it's incredibly pointless.
No, I like it when there's... I like this. No, I think if the last half hour hadn't just been you can do it. I don't know if I can do it. You can do it. Okay, I think I can do it. You won't be able to beat me. Oh, I can't beat you. Wait, I can beat... Like, if it hadn't just been that, this could have been a good one.
Yeah.
The first half hour of this movie, I was like, this is a good one.
I don't agree.
I mean, in the scheme of Pokemon movies, I think the first half hour was good is actually a pretty glowing review.
And it can't be overstated that the first half hour of this movie was half of this movie. Pokemon movies should be an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I agree with that. I was so excited to see this one was only an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I was so happy.
Still felt like 90 minutes, but I didn't lose as much of my day.
All right, so...
All right, let's rank them.
Hold on. Before we rank the movies, Ashley, I think we have a...
That's so weird.
All right, we don't have any voicemails this week.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
We don't have voicemails this week because we had technical difficulties. We might have had one and lost it, or we might not have and thought we did.
So I implore you, person who sent it, I know who you are, and if you would mind, you can call again.
Call again.
Ashley knows who you are.
Give us that number,
I know
Ashley.
who you are. I know where you live. It is 607-323-7168. And leave a voicemail again. And I'm really sorry that this is being this way tonight.
Leave us a voicemail about anything. Okay, let's rank things. I'll rank first. Okay, my number one. I don't remember any of the movies, dudes. My number one is... Didn't I have a new one? Didn't I have a new number one?
Did you?
If I'm going by the way I remember everything, I guess my number one is Pokemon Forever, Celebi's Nasty Nest. Number 2 is Jirachi Wishmaker. Number 3 is Pokemon 3, Spell of the Unknown. And number 4 is Zoroark Master Evolutions. Did I like that one? My number 5 is Destiny Deoxys. My number 6 is Lucario and the Mystery Mew. My number 7 is Rise of Darkrai.
More like.
Number 8, Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea. Number 9, Giratina and the Sky Warrior. Number 10... Wait, no. Number 9 is this one, Kyurem versus the Sword of Justice. Number 10, Giratina and the Sky Warrior. Number 11, Mewtwo Returns. Number 12, Pokemon the First Movie. Number 13, jeez, Pokemon Heroes Latios and Latios. Number 14, Mastermind and Mirage Pokemon. Number 15, Arceus and the Jewel of Life. Number 16,
Taste.
Black and White Victinian Zekrom and Victinian Restaurant. Number
really watched that many movies.
16, Pokemon the Movie 2000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I missed one, but fuck it. I guess that was probably Arceus at the Jewel of Life, and put that where I said it was.
No, you didn't get Pokemon the Movie 2000 as your least favorite movie.
Last. Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. All right, who wants to go next?
All right. Number 1. What's the one I always put at number 1?
Celebi's nasty.
Celebi. Number 2. What's the one I always put at number 2?
Spell of the Unknown.
Yeah. Number 3. What's the one I always put at number 3?
Enta.
Enta is Spell of the Unknown. Jirachi Wishmaker.
Jirachi. It was number 4. What's the one I always put at number 4?
Zorork, I think.
Zorork.
Is it Zorork? Okay.
Number 5. Probably Lucario. Number 6. What's the one I always put at number 6?
Destiny Deoxys.
Destiny
That's
Deoxys.
Dog Robot.
Oh yeah, number 7.
Darkrai. Number 7's always Darkrai.
Yeah, it
Always
is.
see
It is.
Darkrai.
You're right. It's always Darkrai. Number 8. What do I like?
Giratina.
Giratina.
That's right.
Number 9. I would have to say.
You always do Mewtwo returns.
Latios.
Yeah,
Latios?
Mewtwo
Oh, okay,
returns
sorry.
right there. Number 10. I would probably say Latios and Latias. I think.
Okay, right, okay.
Number
Number
11.
You
Ooh, I just
usually
can't
put-
remember the name of it.
You usually put Kyurem versus the Swords.
Yeah, that one's always there.
Right,
Number
right.
number 12.
You usually do Mastermind and Mirage Pokemon.
Well, I'm gonna switch it up this time and do Mastermind Mirage Pokemon. And then at the very bottom, Pokemon 2000. Did I get? Is that?
No, that
Did
you're
I miss some?
missing 4.
All right. Well, there's 4 that I definitely don't remember.
Black and White. Zorork. Arceus.
Yep, in that order.
All right, Ashley, go.
Let me see. I think number 1's always going to be Jirachi. I guess Celebi's number 2. And Enta's number 3.
Woo.
Ooh. Lucario's number 4. Oh God. And that's all I remember. And then they're just all jumbled in between there.
They're all the same movie.
This is
You're all-
a 15-way tie for 5th place.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for waiting 3 weeks for this episode and listening. Please leave us a voicemail. Hit us up on Twitter. Send us an email. The next episode we're doing, guys, it's the return of the Pikachu shorts.
Ooh.
We got a mini-sode coming up next, Meloetta's Moonlight Serenade.
That'll be out in about 2 months from now. We'll be back.
And then following that, our next full episode is Genesect and the Legend Awakened.
Shut the fuck up.
Yo, guys, the next 3, this movie and the next 2 movies. Remember when I did that list of, like, I took every ranking of Pokemon movies that I could find on the internet and I averaged them out to figure out what the best and worst Pokemon movies were in, like, on, like, a meta sense.
Yeah, sure, because who hasn't?
The bottom 3 were Genesect, Kyurem, and Diancie. We just watched Kyurem. The next one is Genesect, and the following movie is Diancie.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so we got a lot to look forward to. Guys, thanks for listening. Rate us on iTunes. Is there something we usually do at the end here? It just feels like we should have some sort of outro.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Since my mic is turned the right way, I'm excited to finally do an outro where my voice is
do you have something?
crystal clear as this.
It does sounds real.
It sounds great.
Refresh.
Doesn't it sound so just fresh and crisp and
So-
clear?
It really does. So if you have something, it'd be really cool to hear you do like an outro.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been brainstorming some stuff, but I've been
Oh, cool.
my voice has been so distorted that I haven't been able to find the right time to do it where it would do it justice. Really,
Yeah, hell yeah. Just take us out,
This
Ashley.
sounds
Give
awesome.
us
Ashley, I'm
something
so
eloquent.
I guess we just get to take a minute. I have to get into
Yeah, sure.
character.
Yeah, all right, right.
Bye.
Bye.
know something kind of funny? And you won't.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
You're being grudged.
The grudge.
I'm being grudged.
Grudge. Okay, what's up?